Well, it's been almost 2 years now since I've lived in Brazil, and a lot has changed since I first got here. Wasn't even engaged when I got here. Sammy and I were just dating, and so as of today, I've lived in 3 different states, or Sammy and I have lived in 3 different states. We've gotten married, and then we've got Joanna now. So anyway, I'm gonna take you guys on that 2-year journey, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. So I'll start with why I moved to Brazil. It was all Sammy. So we met when she was on a visa in the US. She was visiting her sister. She lived actually in the town right next to mine. I was living in Kirkland, and her sister lived in Woodinville. So we met, we fell in love, and she actually got to extend her visa for 6 months. So she was originally gonna leave in June, but she got to stay until the end of 2020. So she moved right before the new year, and we had a trip planned to Rio where she didn't know, but I was gonna propose, and then I planned on bringing her back to the US after that to get married and start life. But it was gonna take a really long time just because of the immigration stuff. So I decided just to buy a one-way ticket to Brazil and then let life take care of itself. So on April 1st of 2021, I got to Manaus, and as soon as I landed, I got a super warm welcome from her family. Her mom, her dad, her sister were all there at the airport to pick me up. And that first week that I was in Manaus, it was awesome. I got to meet a lot of her family, not all of them because she's got tons of cousins, aunts and uncles. I got to do 2 separate river tours. One of them was just kind of a tour of the Amazon close to Manaus, and then I actually got to go up a tributary and see some. It was like a dream come true because as a kid, I'd always wanted to explore and check out the Amazon rainforest and the rivers, and so that was great. And then after 10 days in Manaus, we went to Rio, and that's where I had planned to propose right under the Jesus statue, and it worked out sort of just like I had planned. I was a little nervous, but yeah, her cousin was able to come with us and take a video of it. When we got back to Manaus, we had to declare our intention to marry. So you have 30 days from the time that you declare your intention to the time that you can marry. And normally, obviously, this isn't a problem for people, but because I have 90 days. If you're American and you come to Brazil, you're given 90 days. If you can apply for an extension, but I just wanted to make sure and do everything within that timeline. So we got the date for June 11th, and I had until July the 1st. So it was a little bit stressful. I was dealing with immigration and trying to get stuff for the wedding, all the documentation for the wedding. I went over that in another video, actually 2 other videos that you guys can watch if you're interested. But everything worked out. There's little hiccups here and there, but on June 11th, we got married, and it was beautiful. We had a celebration at her aunt's house, and then 3 days later, we moved to Saquarema. So we had visited Saquarema twice actually while we were on our vacation in Rio, and I knew about it. I knew it was the surf capital of Brazil, and it was a small little town, kind of like a fishing village, surfer town. So we saw that it seemed pretty peaceful and a good place to start our married life. So we ended up finding a really nice 3-bedroom house close to the beach where, yeah, we could spend our first year of marriage. And it was great, except for the first month and a half. Sammy was still recovering. She had surgery only like a month before, and she was basically bedridden, but also having to go to doctor's appointments and helping me do my stuff for immigration because I was still I had to go to Niterói, which is about a 2-hour drive from where we lived, to get things finalized for my residency. And so it wasn't quite a honeymoon experience when we got there, but after she recovered, we started getting used to kind of daily life as a married couple and getting accustomed to Saquarema, which I love because there are almost always waves, so I got to surf a lot. And I don't ever talk about this, but work actually kind of finished up around this time for me. I was doing 1 or 2 deals back in the United States in Seattle, and I had closed those pretty much right after we moved to Saquarema, so I was, very unemployed. I did not have work, so I actually had looked into writing books, like children's books, as like a business. I saw the business model, and I thought, I'd written some for my nieces and nephews before. Maybe I could try to make this kind of like an actual business. So I have a book that I wrote and put together with Sammy's help, and then I hired an artist. It's called Tales of Tiago and Tippy. Eventually one day finished that series, but it wasn't exactly a bestseller, so I tried a few other things like trading and investing, and they weren't bringing in a whole lot of money. And then I started going to the beach to practice filming. This is kind of how I started doing the YouTube.
I really haven't. This is awesome. I've never. Oh shit.
I just was thinking, well, if I can get good at video editing and photography and kind of put it all together, maybe one day I could get paid from it. So I would go to the beach close to our house, Itaúna, and film the surfers, especially on the days when the waves were really good. It was fun trying to figure out different vantage points. There is so many good surfers, and the waves are so good. It was pretty easy. I just had to be there to get the shots. And it was awesome. I learned a lot, but it also wasn't paying. December of last year, we took our honeymoon trip and we chose Florianopolis. And after, I think, the first or the second day, we decided that we could probably call this place home since, well, Sammy was working from home. I was working from home / not really working. So, and after we got back from our trip from Florianopolis, Sammy and I found out we were pregnant, or she was pregnant, I was not, but. So we found a place, this apartment that I'm in right now, shortly after we decided to move to Florianopolis. And we got here last May. Sammy found a doctor in the hospital that she wanted to have Joanna at. And at this point I was doing day trading and not making enough to support a family. So I was kind of getting nervous, especially knowing that it was only a few months from the time that Joanna was gonna arrive. So Sammy told me that I could teach English online. I had never taught before, but I found a platform that allows you to teach online, and I started working in August, and I worked every day for 6 weeks up until the day Joanna was born. And yeah, on September 18th of this past year, Joanna was born, and wow, she's changed our lives. She is such a little angel. You can see from some of these pictures and these videos how cute she is. So she wakes up with me every morning, or she kind of wakes me up every morning a little after 5 a.m. We go on our morning walks down to the beach and watch the sunrise. And as for the future, I actually just got another job. I'm still teaching English. I have another channel that I actually spend more time on than this one, where Sammy and I both kind of publish. It's an English learning channel called It's Just English, where Sammy and I post videos about learning English, do skits on there, and I'll try to do more for this once I stop teaching as much. I teach 6 days a week and it takes up most of my time, but yeah, we're gonna try and focus on this more. Joanna's getting big. She's 5, a little over 5 months now. She's getting her US citizenship in 3 weeks. I'll make another video about that. And then we're gonna go visit another town close to here that we're thinking we might wanna move to. It's either that or we go back to Saquarema. And then Sammy and I will, try and keep posting videos and enjoying life down here in Brazil. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That was a very summarized version of the last 2 months here in Brazil for me. So, all right, I'll see you guys later.